Okay, so we know the media is one of the cornerstones of the paradigm and how it operates. And here's how they operate. So here's the headline: Elon Musk teases first glimpse of SpaceX spacesuit. What the first astronaut on Mars could be wearing. So that's the caveat there. Could be wearing. Okay, so you have to remember this is fantasy. It's all fantasy. It's what they could be wearing, not will be. But people will just see this, and it's all part of the journey to Mars. It's all happening. Here it is. It's all real. They're getting ready. They've got suits ready. Here's Mars. They're on their way to. So the private space company has built and tested its own spacesuits. And tested, it says there. Just zoom in a little bit. And here's, so what we have one photograph. This, I don't know if you can quite see that. There's Elon's face there looking up. There's a porthole window with stars out of it. There's the seatbelt, the flag, and here he is. He's sat. So he's sat in some kind of futuristic spaceship. And this is what he put out. This was his tweet from Elon Musk. Him sat in this spacesuit, and it says, "First picture of SpaceX spacesuit, more in days to follow. Worth noting that this actually works, not a mock-up. Already tested to double vacuum pressure." I'm not sure what they mean by that. "Was incredibly hard to balance aesthetics and function. Easy to do either separately." So they've got lots of. They always have this woolly language they use, and then they sneak these things in. Not a mock-up. So they're saying that this actually works and it's been tested. So what they're saying, something works, but what they're kind of saying, they're talking about something was tested. Worth noting, this actually works. In what way, we don't know. But what that word is saying there, it's labelling that picture as not a mock-up. People will read this, yeah, this is not a mock-up, and they read the tag headline, tested to double vacuum pressure, and here it is. So this is reality now. What does it say in the article? If going into space wasn't impressive enough, Elon Musk is making sure his astronauts look good while they do it. The billionaire CEO has shared the first image of his company's own spacesuits, and they look suitably futuristic. Almost completely clear of the bulky equipment we've come to associate with space travel, the new suits are clean and minimalist. But Musk notes that they're not just a mock-up, they've actually been tested. The suits could be worn by the first humans to set foot on Mars. Musk has been vocal in the past about SpaceX's plan to colonize the red planet. The billionaire has always said that putting humans on Mars is the ultimate aim of his company. If we can get the cost of moving to Mars to be roughly equivalent to a median house price in the United States, I think the probability of establishing a self-sustaining civilization is very high. He has previously described how upwards of 1,000 spaceships will be lifted into orbit around the Earth by SpaceX's reusable rocket boosters. So he said that. So there you are. The rocket boosters will then return to Earth and pick up fuel tankers, which they will carry up to the spaceships and use to fill their tanks. The process will take up to 2 years, or rake up to 2 years. Journalism. Once the spaceships are full of fuel, around 100 people will be loaded into each one, along with their luggage and the materials needed to build everything from propellant plants to iron foundries and pizza joints on Mars. They will then depart en masse for the red planet. So what you've got in this article is absolute fantasy. There is nothing real here. The only thing real is a photograph from Elon Musk saying something is so. Because he says here it's been tested and it's not a mock-up, the news agency says it has been tested. So this is now fact. This is how the 1984 thing happens and works. This is how it operates. It doesn't matter how many people believe this at the time now, as long as they can keep hold on the short term. When it comes to the future, you know, when they've got their simulated Martian colony going in 10 years' time, this is all fact. This is how it happened. This will be one of the pictures in the school history books. Elon Musk testing his first spacesuit. This is like the guy who invented warp drive in Star Trek. You know, this is his moment, isn't it? Zephyrin Cochrane was it? You know, this is the Zephyrin Cochrane moment. Looking up into the stars, testing his spacesuit, ready to establish the colony. So there's nothing here. So first of all, I mean, it's just, yeah, you know, this is, it looks good, it looks good, it looks good. They've got nothing to go on. They've got no statement. They've got no data. They've got no scientific reports. They've got nothing. But Musk notes that they're not just a mock-up. They've actually been tested because he says so. And then on from that, they then talk about Musk and his plans to colonize the red planet. And because he described 1,000 spaceships, then that's it. This is all news. I mean, I don't know if, how empty must these journalists be and feel. Just, I mean, what's in that? It's nothing. But people will take this and believe it as absolute. This is science and scientific fact of our stepping stones to Mars. It's all fantasy. There's absolutely nothing of substance in this article whatsoever. It's a photograph, and it has to be CGI. I mean, either that's some kind of set that they've put together and gone to the trouble of giving a backdrop for stars. Just, I mean, did they test the suit with this? I mean, you don't need to make it look like a spaceship to successfully test it in a vacuum. So where are the photos of it being tested in a vacuum? This is clearly fake. It's not a spaceship or an aircraft. You know, he's not testing this now. That's not him testing it. You know, and this is front page news. Amazing, incredible.